Welcome to another episode of the Democracy at the Crossroads. In the last episode, we discussed Mahatma Gandhi's strong views on the very existence of Israel. How this Jewish state was an illegitimate one. How it was created by naked terrorism resorted to by the Jewish mercenaries, aided and abetted by the English and the US imperialists. Gandhiji was enraged that the Israeli state came into existence by displacing hundreds of thousands of Palestinians from their motherland. If Gandhiji were alive today, he would mock at the hue and cry being raised by the very same terrorist Israel and its bloodthirsty backers UK and USA against the terrorism of Hamas, the Palestinian rulers of Gaza. It is distressing to see that even our Prime Minister has fallen into the Western trap. He has virtually mocked Mahatma Gandhi, the father of our nation, by promptly siding with the terrorist Israel to condemn the terrorist Hamas. Yes, Hamas needed to be condemned after the brutal attack against civilians on October 7. But then why hasn't our Prime Minister ever so openly sided with the terrorist Hamas to condemn the Israeli acts of terrorism? Take the case of a deadly bomb attack on a Gaza hospital last Tuesday, 17th October, leading to the death of almost 500 Palestinian men, women and children. What did the Prime Minister say? 2 days after the ghastly incident, our Prime Minister opened his mouth, condoled the deaths in the Gaza hospital. But then, while condoling, why didn't our Prime Minister condemn the terrorists who brought about this devastation in a hospital? When Israelis die, you condemn. But when Palestinians die, you condole. Why this double standard, Mr. Prime Minister? All right, who attacked Gaza hospital is now disputed. Arab countries accuse Israel of this war crime. Israel says Palestinian terrorists have done it. Although that sounds a very, very spacious explanation. Let's accept this for the time being. But then, there is no disputing the fact that Israeli terrorism has been showing its ugly face again and again over the last 6 decades. And Benjamin Netanyahu, the current Prime Minister, is one of the ugliest masterminds of that Israeli terrorism. He has been responsible for the death of scores of Palestinians, innocent civilian Palestinians, during his tenure. According to B.T. Selim, a human rights watchdog, between 2006 and 2022, more than 4,000 Palestinians, mostly civilians, have been killed by Israeli terrorists in Gaza Strip alone. Some of the biggest massacres of Palestinians have happened under the direct watch of Benjamin Netanyahu. It is not as if this killings of civilians has happened only in Hamas-ruled Gaza. Hamas they call terrorists. The Fatah-ruled West Bank has also been facing a similar tragic fate. More than 200 Palestinians have been killed this year itself in the West Bank. Mind you, 200 Palestinians have been killed in the last 9 months of 2023 itself in West Bank, where there is no Hamas. And who are the killers? The killers are Netanyahu's armed forces and the mercenaries trained by them. And this is not an allegation made by just the Palestinian Authority. It's a charge fully backed and authenticated by the UN Special Coordinator of Middle East, Thor Winsland. What did Winsland say? Mark his words. Unabated expansion of illegal Israeli settlements, Israel's demolition of Palestinian homes, and attack by Israeli settlers on Palestinian villages, and overall operations by Israeli forces in the occupied West Bank have resulted in the large number of these deaths in this year itself. Again, mind you, this is what the UN envoy for the Middle East has said, and not a Palestinian representative. Had our Prime Minister ever condemned this telltale Israeli violence, the terrorist acts of Netanyahu's mercenaries? No. Why no? Why does our Prime Minister promptly condemn Hamas's counter-terrorism, but is scared of calling out the repeated terrorist acts of Israel that has propelled hapless Palestinians for the counter-offensive? Why our Prime Minister doesn't squarely condemn when Palestinian blood is spilled, but he is unambiguous in his condemnation when Israeli blood spills? Is it that for a country like India, Palestinian blood is less precious than the Jewish blood? Is this moral hypocrisy due to our racial bias or religious bias? Or is it that it is ordained by our national interest, as our government would like us to believe? The father of our nation, Mahatma Gandhi, who showed to the world India's high moral standing, would be ashamed of our current regime, who just turned India into a bootlicker of American imperialist design. My question to you, the citizens of India, what should we do to ensure that Gandhiji's soul rests in peace? I look forward to your candid response. Thank you.